There's no such thing as healthy food and unhealthy food. That's just a label that diet culture has put onto food. Food is food.
Wow. I didn't think I'd ever actually have to say this, but healthy foods and unhealthy foods exist. I can't believe anyone really thinks that eating 200 calories of white granulated sugar is just as healthy as 200 calories of steamed vegetables, but here we are.
So we meet again. Is a protein bar actually healthier than a Snickers bar? I had an eating disorder for about 2 decades, and I used to think that protein bars were the guilt-free version that I could have so much of, and that regular chocolate bars had to be avoided. But to be honest, that's just diet culture. The macros. Not advocating that you count macros. We've got more important things to do. 20 grams of protein, 4 grams of protein. No surprises there. 11 grams of fat, 12 grams of fat. 29 grams of carbs, 32 grams of carbs. 17 grams of sugar, 28 grams of sugar. All pretty negligible if you ask me. Calories, 290 calories, 250 calories. The point? I'm not advocating that you count calories or macros. I'm advocating for eating things that taste good, rather than being guilt-tripped into wasting our money on things that taste like dirt.
Okay, so taste is not a metric when we judge the nutrition of different foods, and the protein bar is clearly healthier, but we'll move on.
Alright people, let's talk about Halo Top. Specifically, is Halo Top ice cream healthier than a vanilla cone from McDonald's? Had to do a small amount of maths for this, don't worry, didn't know. We're going to compare the serving size of a McDonald's vanilla cone, which is 147 grams, to that of 147 grams of Halo Top. Calories. A McDonald's vanilla cone is 200 calories, whereas 147 grams of Halo Top is 198 calories. Same. Protein, you've got 5 grams in McDonald's, you've got 10 grams in Halo Top. But like, since when did ice cream have to be high in protein? Fat, you've got 5 grams, 5.8 grams. Carbs, you've got 33 grams, 41.2 grams. Lastly, sugar, you've got 23 grams, 15 grams. Most importantly, taste.
Didn't we just discuss that taste is not a metric of nutrition?
The McDonald's ice cream. So you want a sweet snack, and you think, oh, I'll pick up a protein bar because that's bound to be healthier than, say, a Kit Kat. But is it? Fine. If you're still counting macros, please get a hobby. You're more likely to go for the protein bar. 24 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat. Fine, take the stale tasting overpriced protein bar. Go on, take it. Whereas the Kit Kat has 27 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein, 12 grams of fat. But wait, calorie to calorie, we've got 230 calories in the protein bar, 220 calories in the Kit Kat. That's interesting. Then there's the price. We're talking about $2.50, $1.30. But most importantly, taste Kit Kat every time.
Can you just say that you prefer the candy bars or the regular ice cream to the healthier alternatives and move on? If you want to eat the unhealthier version, that's fine, but stop jumping through hoops to justify it. Or asking which is healthier when you clearly mean which one tastes better.
I chose this comment out of the many that I've been getting ever since this one dude who's like known for being super fat phobic and fucked up decided to stitch my video. But essentially what I want to say is you're reinforcing fat phobia right here in this comment. So saying that it doesn't exist is actually quite funny because you're doing it in this comment by saying that, oh, I only want to date someone who takes care of themselves. Like, how do fat people not take care of themselves? Also, this man that you're coming from his video, right? Because all of you trolls are coming from that video. He is stating so many things incorrectly. He's using statistics outside of its context. He's also just like being a horrible human being. And I understand that that's like a cool thing to be right now. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that you can prefer to not date someone who's a piece of shit, sure. But if you say, I don't date fat people, period, that is fat phobia. So you are basically saying, I don't date someone because of their body size. Well, just to let you know, a lot of people gain weight over time because aging and just natural things that happen to our body. So your thin partner might become fat. What are you going to do? Get rid of them? Divorce them? Drop them off at the curb? No, I'd like a return policy on this. Like, think logically about these things and also understand that I don't want any of you to date me. I don't want any of you to think I'm fucking hot. I want you to allow me to exist and to understand that fat phobia is a system that's constantly harming people. So if you can't or you're unable to allow yourself to do that, that is a you problem. That is a you problem. It's not a me problem. I'm fat for many reasons. I don't have to justify why I'm fat. I don't have to justify how my body exists. You can make so many assumptions about why you think I exist in the way I exist. I don't have to tell you that. But you do need to know that you're being fucked up. Okay?
How are fat people not taking care of themselves, you ask? The vast majority of fat people are fat because of unhealthy habits. That's the quick answer to that question. I personally don't want to date a fat person. Not because I am fatphobic, but because I don't want to date someone that doesn't have or isn't working towards developing healthy habits to live a long and prosperous life. You said towards the end of the video that you don't have to justify why you're fat to your audience, and that's fair enough. But you may have to justify why you're fat to a potential partner, because for some people, having a partner with a healthy lifestyle is important. So no, it isn't fatphobic to not want to date a fat person.
Hi, just a quick reminder. If someone on this app tells you that you can be body positive but still try to lose weight, and wanting to lose weight doesn't mean you're participating in diet culture, and then says stuff like, click here for more tips, their entire business model is based on you hating yourself. If you stop dieting, they're out of a job. So probably don't trust someone whose bread and butter is making sure that you don't eat bread and butter. Bye.
There are also people on TikTok, that I will not name, that have links in their bios for people to join trainings on how to love your fat body or books telling people why they should remain fat. Are those people not profiting off of fat people's insecurities in the same way that the people pushing weight loss are? The difference is, you can actually lose weight and not contribute to the predatory parts of diet culture, all while improving your health. Whereas the people that are convincing obese people to remain fat are only harming fat people's health. But sure, diet culture is the only one preying on fat people. There is nothing wrong with telling people to love themselves at any size, but there is something wrong with telling people any size can be healthy.
I need to rant about something really quick. So I get a lot of content on my For You page from women who are plus size creators. And they're phenomenal. They're gorgeous. They're intelligent. They're sexy. They're hardworking. They're funny. And they get so many negative comments about how they're fat, so they're unhealthy. Thin doesn't equal healthy. I have always been thin. I have always been in a normal BMI range, and I am not healthy. I have an autoimmune disorder. I have multiple mental health issues. There are days where I'm absolutely exhausted, where my joints hurt, where my head hurts, where I'm nauseous. I am not healthy. But I don't get crap from society about my health because of my weight. You can be fat and healthy, and you can be skinny and unhealthy.
Saying being fat is unhealthy does not equal all thin people are healthy. It means that having excess fat on your body has been shown to lead to negative health outcomes. Being thin on its own does not lead to negative health outcomes. Of course, there are unhealthy thin people. Nobody has ever disputed that.
But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic.
Making another video on preferences, something that she's already said on her channel in a more recent video, but I haven't said on mine. Inclusive preferences and exclusive preferences. Inclusive preference being, I prefer someone who is redheaded, wears glasses, loves pizza. While exclusive preferences, I will not date someone who is fat. Like, one is fine, and one's wrong. You can, as long as you keep an open mind and try to not just automatically turn down anyone that doesn't look like who you regularly date, I think you're good. I think it's just important to be aware of that, because I think the line is a little blurred.
The exclusive preference of I don't date fat people can easily be turned into an inclusive preference by saying, I prefer to date people with a healthy lifestyle. Not wanting to date fat people can have nothing to do with looks and everything to do with lifestyle compatibility. Plain and simple. The point she is making here is so ridiculous that I barely have words to describe it. She's basically saying that an experiment hasn't been done that controls for everything from trauma to addiction to dieting history to nutrient intake, all in relation to body size. Doing an experiment that controls all those variables is damn near impossible, so she's essentially saying, until an experiment like this is done, we can't be 100% sure being overweight is unhealthy. It's a stupid point to argue, to say the least.